Now, in continuation with the biotechnological processes, we have seen the introductory part as well as the history of biotechnology. So, how the biotechnology is a very ancient art and more than a science. So, biotechnology made its advancement with the advancement of the recombinant DNA technology or the rDNA technology, okay, which gave birth to the modern biotechnology. So today we are going to see what actual processes and principles are involved in this rDNA technology or the recombinant DNA technology. Okay. As you have seen, the recombinant DNA technology is actually a combination of two different sources of genes. It is a method in which two different sources of DNA material are combined together and they are put in a host system where this DNA is going to replicate and express itself. So that is what is the basic thinking or the basic principle behind the rDNA technology or the recombinant DNA technology. So here it involves two different sources of DNA. So how you can take two different sources of DNA? As you know, any foreign material when it enters into the body, it is termed as it is supposed to be a foreign material and it is rejected by the host system. So how you can use these two different sources of DNA, combine them and put in a host system and that would express itself. That is what we are going to see today. Okay. So recombinant DNA technology, it involves either the recombination or the manipulation of the two different DNA. Okay. Recombination or manipulation or modification. Okay. So these terms are actually the terms which are actually used in engineering. So that is why rDNA technology is also called as the genetic engineering. Okay. So So this genetic engineering, you have the word engineering here. So engineering is all about construction, reconstruction, manipulation, modification. All this occurs in the field of engineering. So this is the engineering which we are going to do with the biological material. So that is why it is also called as this recombinant DNA technology is also called as the genetic engineering, where it involves recombination because we are recombining two different sources of DNA and here we are also manipulating. Manipulation also can be done, means you can remove one part of the DNA and replace it with another DNA. Okay, so that is called as manipulation. Okay, or you can change the sequence of the DNA or you can change the DNA completely. So that is why that is called as a manipulation, which we are doing artificially. So next is modification. What we can do is modification is nothing but repair. Okay, if there is some kind of a defective part in the gene or there is a defective DNA, then you can also repair it and that is called as the modification. So we are going to do all the types of experiments with the DNA material and that is what is the principle behind the genetic engineering and the recombinant DNA technology. Okay. So this technology has to, this principle, it needs different kinds of processes are followed. So what kind of process or methodology is involved in this technology that we are going to see. But before that, we need to know What are the different tools and techniques? Tools and techniques. What does tools mean? So which tools and techniques are involved in the recombinant DNA technology that we are going to see? So what does this term tool mean? Tool is anything which helps in making the process easier, or making, if you are doing some kind of a work, these tools are used for making that work easy. So for example, if you want to fix a nail into the wall, you need a hammer, isn't it? So if you want to fix a nail in the wall, you need a hammer to hit. Or suppose you want to cut something. So if you want to cut something, you need a scissors. Okay, so this hammer, this scissors, these are the tools. Okay, and then techniques. Techniques are nothing but you're using these tools for modification, manipulation, or recombination, and a systematic procedure is followed. That is called as a technique. Okay, where you're using tools and following a systematic process that is called as a technique. Okay, and that technique is fixed. Okay, fixed in the sense, if anyone else does it the same way, they should get the same result, and that is called as a technique. Okay, so that is what is the in recombinant DNA technology. Different tools and techniques are needed. So what are those tools and what are those techniques which have made this technology so popular? Okay, how this technology has become so popular, that we are going to see. Okay, so let us talk first about the different tools. So there are different tools which are used for the modification or recombination or the manipulation of the genetic material. First of all, we need a host. Okay, we need a host organism. So this is an organism. So you need a host organism in which this manipulation has to be done. Okay, so that means you need two organisms, because two different organisms are used, two different DNA material is used, and they are recombined. Okay, so that recombined product has to be put in some organism where it is going to replicate itself or where it is going to express itself. So that is, for that you need a host organism. Okay, then you need some vectors. So what is a vector? Vector is also a mediator which would help in the transfer of this genetic material into the host organism. There should be some method, or there should be some media by which the DNA, recombinant DNA, needs to be transferred into the host organism, and that is called a vector. Generally, it can be also called as a vehicle. Okay, so what vehicle is needed to transfer the recombinant DNA into this host organism, and that vehicle may be a plasmid or a virus. Okay, so plasmid or a virus can behave as a vector for the transfer of the recombinant DNA, okay, to the host organism. Then you have different biological enzymes, which are the actual tools, like the tools which are actually going to do the manipulation, that is cutting, joining, and then again joining, and all this process that is done by the enzymes, that is the biological enzymes. Okay, so these biological enzymes are the actual tools which help in the cutting and joining. Okay. So the requirements for recombinant DNA technology are the biological tools, which include the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. Any one may be used. These must be the competent hosts. So next is the cloning vectors, which are vehicles for DNA transfer, such as the plasmid or the viral genome. And the third is the most important, that is the enzyme system. So these requirements, basic requirements, are necessary for the success of the recombinant DNA technology. Here we first see the biological tools which are involved. In the biological tools, you can see there should be a competent host. What does that mean? Competent host means a host system which is capable of accepting the recombinant DNA. Okay, so it should be capable of accepting the recombinant DNA in itself. So it may either be a prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell system, though it is very tiny, very small, it is capable of accepting the foreign DNA material. Okay, so we can manipulate and we can play with the prokaryotic cell, and we can transfer the recombinant DNA into the prokaryotic cell very easily. Okay, and also the eukaryotic cell also can be made competent by various methods, and then the DNA or the proteins which are to be expressed in the eukaryotic cell, they can be transferred into the eukaryotic cell system. Okay, so which are very difficult to which the proteins which are human which are based which are actually related to the human beings, they can be expressed in the eukaryotic cells. Okay, which are very the protein structure of the protein is very large, and then it's not able to express itself in the prokaryotic cell. Then we need a eukaryotic cell system. So that is why I have mentioned both the host which can be used. So the eukaryotic cell can either be an animal cell or a plant cell. So it is not only in the bacterial cell that we can transfer the recombinant DNA, but also in the plant cell as well as the animal cells. Next is the cloning vector. The word here you see, cloning. What do you mean by a clone? Clone is nothing but exact copy or the Xerox copy of a particular thing. Now what actually we are going to clone here? We are going to clone the DNA. So this clone is going to be the clone of the DNA which you are going to transfer. So you need a vector, as I told you before. You need a vehicle for the transfer of the DNA. So these cloning vectors are the naturally available plasmids or the viral genome. Okay, so nowadays these not only the naturally available plasmids are used, but also there are some plasmids which are constructed artificially, and they are used as a vehicle for the DNA transfer. And also the viral genome can be nowadays, it can be manipulated and constructed according to our requirement. So we can also make manipulations in the viral genome as well as the plasmid genome, which can be used as a cloning vector. But basically, first of all, when we are looking into, we are going to see the plasmid and the viral genome as a cloning vector. Next, and the most important part, is the enzyme system. So what kind of enzyme system you need? As I told you, you need some tools for cutting, you need some tools for joining. And what are these tools? These are nothing but the biological enzymes which are present in the living cell, that can be used as a cutting scissors or as a joining glue. So which enzymes will behave like a scissor and which enzymes will behave like a glue, that we'll see